Kim Beasley, and I'm the host of Pamper My Business podcast, where you will learn tips, tools, and techniques that will give you the freedom to easily build your business brand online so that you can be seen and then sell to your target customers. I will be interviewing industry leaders and professionals who will share their knowledge and experience, which will help you brand your business online. Get ready to take notes and learn from Kim and her guests, because this is going to be a fun learning experience.
Hi, my name is Kim Beasley, and I am the host of Pamper My Business podcast. Today I have with me Tracey Minutolo, who is a side hustle coach, and she helps 9-to-5ers launch and grow side businesses that they love. You hear that? That they love. She runs the Side Hustle Success Lab community, where serious side hustlers can sharpen their skills and level up their habits while finding the support they need and making the connections that make a difference. And she's the host of the Side Hustle Minute, delivering bite-sized nuggets or side hustle inspiration and wisdom daily. When she's not coaching, she's probably geeking out on a continuous improvement her day. She's probably geeking out on continuous improvement for her day job, hanging out in San Diego sunshine, or checking out the latest craft beer release. And you can find her at TraceyMinutolo.com, and I will have that link in the show notes below. So I have the first question for you, Tracey. What is the purpose of your business? I know I kind of shared a little bit, but what do you feel the purpose of your business is?
Well, yeah, I guess in a nutshell, the purpose of my business is to show 9-to-5 employees that, they can play in the business world too. Like there's a spot for them there too. And it's not as, daunting or scary or out of, reach as maybe they might believe. So that's, I guess, yeah, in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. And I apologize. My cat is, for some reason, she's screaming in the background. So you might hear a little bit of that.
No problem. I totally understand. Okay. So how did you get started with your business, knowing that the purpose of it is to help people who want to start a side hustle? How did you get started?
Yeah, so this is going back several years now. I started my own side business, and basically, it took me forever to come up with an idea of something that I wanted to start, because I am a microbiologist by training. That's what I've done all my career. And I didn't really see how that skill set was going to translate into anything I could do on the side, maybe consulting or something, but I didn't want to do that. So it took me forever to kind of come up with my own idea. And when I did, it hit me kind of like a lightning bolt. It was awesome. I had been using some skills for volunteer organizations. I'm totally unpaid. I was helping 2 organizations in town with their social media and doing a little bit of WordPress stuff. So Kim, you might appreciate that. All the web stuff. And I was teaching myself, and I was learning, and I was geeking out on it, really geeking out on it, because, it was fun for me and nobody else wanted to do it. So they were like, Tracey will do it. So, and that skill set kind of developed over, a couple of years. And I also found myself really immersed in podcasts and really just, loving everything I was hearing, getting really inspired by people, just like me out there doing awesome things. And so I was, kind of put 2 and 2 together and said, I wonder if any of these podcasters could use help. Could they use help doing show notes or, posting to social media or all kinds of stuff? So that is where my first side business came from, basically as a VA, helping podcasters in the personal development and career space. And that I did for about 2 years, had a handful of clients, really, really loved what I did. But, there was something more I wanted to do. And so I was working with a career coach. He was one of my clients. So I was on his team and basically, getting really immersed in his community and Facebook communities, and just, providing support to his members of his programs, all kinds of things. And, eventually, like, this didn't happen overnight, but like, I just kept getting more and more responsibility. And, at about the 1.5 year mark or so, I got an opportunity to help him coach one of his programs. And it was awesome. And it was a new program that he was just starting around creating side businesses. So he asked me, and I said, this scares the hell out of me. That probably is an indication that I should do it. So I worked with him in his program for 6 months and took a cohort of his students through this side biz program. And after that, I was hooked. It's like, I want to do this. So,
it's funny you say it scared you. So I've shared with you how I love teaching entrepreneurs to do what I do so that they can have the freedom to brand themselves online. And I had a fear, and I'm getting over it still, of developing an online course. I've, taken all these different courses to teach you how to do it. And there was just a fear that, okay, I build it, but no one will come. And so that's and I agree with you. If you move into your fear and conquer it, it could probably be the most successful place you can be in. And so I love that you said that you did it even though it scared you. So what are some of those lessons that you've learned along the way that you can share or impart to others regarding your experience in creating your business?
Yeah, well, that's definitely one of them. I mean, I think if something is intriguing to you, but you're scared, I think just go ahead and do it, especially if it's a side business, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I think I knew I could take a little leap into coaching. I could try this out without worrying that, I was going to starve or not be able to pay my rent or anything like that. So I just say, honestly, jump into it, go ahead and do it. And so, yeah. But in addition to that, I think you learn more when you're actually in action, when you're actually doing things, when you're actually, out there trying things out, connecting with people, finding out what you actually really enjoy doing versus what isn't as much fun as you thought it was going to be. That's where you actually start to get the information that you need in order to make the decisions about what's coming next. So like I said, I did the VA thing for about 2 years. And then I realized I wanted something more. I just didn't know what that something more was. The only reason that I'm in coaching is because I saw an opportunity and I was like, yes, I will do that. I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. So that is kind of the lesson there. It's just, just keep following those little, pathways and open those doors and go through there and kind of see what's there. And if it's not the right thing, go the other way. You're not really, you're just learning.
I love that, the path. Everyone has a journey that they need to take in life. And when you're in that right path on your journey, you can feel it. And this morning, last night I tossed and turned. Why? Because the path had a hold on me. And it was like, okay, you need to do this. Oh, I mean, all these really awesome ideas were rolling through my head. And finally, I just finally had to turn my brain off, literally. I was like, okay, brain, go to sleep. Because even though I said I'm walking in that fear of developing an online course, I am still excited about it. And so you have to get past the fear in order to get to where you want to go. That success factor that you want to get into.
Definitely. And I'm sorry. I was going to say that's the flip side of, the being in action and doing a lot of things is that there's so many things that you could be doing. So, I always encourage folks to really focus on one thing, give it a fair shake, focus on that one thing for a period of time. That can, depend on what it is that you're doing. I mean, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, but might be less. But, really give that one thing your devoted attention for, enough, time to figure out if it's really something that you want to do or if it's going to work. And then make your decision to do something else. Don't try to do like 16 different things because you're never going to get a clear picture of any of those things. So that's another lesson.
Awesome. I love that. So here we go. What are the 2 business issues that you have faced and overcome. I know as we grow our business, we go through valleys and we go up hills, and those hills, even though they seem like there's a struggle, but when you get to the top, you feel this elation. Oh, I've overcome it. And so what are some of the issues? What are some specific issues that you've experienced in your business and overcome?
Yeah. And so the first one, actually, this kind of flows right into what I was just talking. I mean, with segue. The biggest thing was I mentioned that I did the VA thing. I had a VA business for 2 years, and then I discovered coaching, and I decided I wanted to do that. And for a short period of time, I entertained maybe I can do both of these things. So I tried. But what I needed to understand was that I had a full-time job too. So working 40, sometimes more than 40 hours a week on that, had, my VA clients, which, that was already like between 15 and 20 hours. And I'm thinking, how am I going to start a coaching business on top of that and really give it, the chance that it deserves? So, that kind of made me miserable for a period of about 4 or 5 months or so, until I finally realized I can't do this anymore. I just kind of slowly broke the news to my clients. And for a little while after that, I was training my replacements. So, but it worked out really well. So I, transitioned so that I could leave them in a good place as well. But, that's what I see a lot of side hustlers struggling with. And so, and the reason that I'm really sympathetic to it is because I know that tendency, and there's so many things, and it's exciting and it's fun, and it's like, but it comes down to math, simple math. Like, how much time do you really have? And, a lot of us kind of are very optimistic in the beginning, and then we can
25 hours in my day. 25 hours, not 24. I have 25.
Yep.
So
exactly.
That's the first issue. What's the second one that you may have experienced?
The second one is a little more recent. And this was actually something that I was facing over last summer. I had just moved into a new role at my job. So like I mentioned, I'm a microbiologist, but for years I've been wanting to get off the bench and do something different and do something out of the lab. I really enjoy working with people and doing a lot of leadership and process improvement, and just wanted to go and do something else, hang up the lab coat. And I finally got, the answer to all my dreams. I got the new job. But it required me to kind of switch the way I don't know if this will make sense I'm sure it will. My microbiology job, I was a lab supervisor. So everything is very routine. I had a very routine set of duties every single day. And now I'm a project manager, and I have big projects that go on for months and months, and I have to manage that time differently. So I ended up basically, at work, having to kind of just figure things out.
So let me put a pin right there. You became a project manager.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I was a project manager all the last few years I was in corporate America. And those who willingly become one, we have a special desire to control things.
That's correct.
As a project manager, you never really truly have control over everything. So I just want to kind of put that pin right there, that you went from a controlled environment to a not controlled environment. Okay, pick up from there.
Yeah. So, and that's a great point, and having to basically restructure my workday, if that makes sense too, because now I had a lot more meetings and everything is, and I'm doing more trainings and speaking, and I didn't have as much time. I'm a serious introvert too. So that's the other thing. I didn't have as much me time to sit in the lab and just work by myself on something. Now I'm out in front of people training and running events. So a big adjustment there. And in my business, I don't know how, your experience has been with Facebook groups, but I had basically, I had run my own group for about 2.5 years. And I had just started it was feeling stale. Things were kind of not great. And I was just ending up all these things came together where I just was burning out essentially. So I wasn't super excited about what I was doing. The day job was awesome, but it was just like, I'm having to put a lot of attention there. The side business, I knew I needed to make a couple of changes to it because it wasn't as much fun as it was the year before. So I ended up this summer just kind of feeling really tired, really sluggish, not motivated, just burned out. I also needed a vacation. So a lot of these things kind of came, together. And, what I did to kind of, improve the situation there is I returned back to my morning routine. So I really started to reclaim my mornings, getting up a little bit earlier, which required me to go to bed earlier. That's the thing people don't think about.
Yeah.
And just reclaim my morning routine, starting with meditation. And I knew I couldn't throw everything back in because I used to do the meditation and I used to do side biz work, but I would also do a little bit of exercise in the morning too. And I didn't want to throw it all back in together at once. So I started with just, 10 minutes of meditation and just working that back in, and then a little bit of exercise and kind of coming back to where, I felt a little more grounded. So that has had like a huge impact for me there. And I also made some changes in my business. So I'm moving my group off of Facebook. That's one thing I'm doing. I have focused even more. You mentioned earlier about ideal clients. Really done a lot more work around that and focusing in more on the folks that I really enjoy working with and the types of coaching that I really like to do. And I really got more into habits, because habits have helped me and, improve my life in so many ways. And I really think it's the secret to success as a side hustler to make this all work. It seems like, especially folks with families, I really got to give it to you. But there's a lot of things that you're juggling, a lot of things that you're balancing. And if you can build good habits, if you can stick to good habits and have like a real, nice foundation for your side business, that is the key to keeping the thing running and sustaining itself. So those are the big adjustments I've made in my business, as well as the, more of the the wellness and health stuff.
You have been listening to Pamper My Business podcast, and I am your host, Kim Beasley. Join the Pamper My Business community by visiting pampermybusiness.com, where you will find our free training along with our masterclass so that you can continue your learning journey about building your brand online.